Joe Thomas here on the Rich Eisen Show. How are you, Joe?
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me on.
No, look, Joe, anything that I can do to help your cause to buy the Panthers, I'm here for you, man.
I appreciate that. I expect a lot of bidding wars in the next few months here, but I'm feeling really confident about the group that I've put together, and I'm feeling like the chances are pretty good that I'll be the next owner of the Carolina Panthers.
You know what, Joe? I learned early on being around top-flight athletes like yourself, top-flight individuals like yourself, is first things first, you got to believe it, right? Deep down in your soul that you've got it, right? Am I wrong?
If you don't believe in yourself, who's going to believe in you? So I really believe that this is going to happen. I've got a great plan laid out on my Twitter feed, and I think it's only a matter of time.
Well, you wanted 1 million retweets, and right now, unfortunately, you're about 900,000 plus shy of that. I don't know if you've been keeping track of your retweets.
Well, I think the retweets are merely just a number. I'm really just focused on the plan at this point. And, I've got my people working behind the scenes with all the necessary people. And like I said, the retweets, they're going to get there. But right now, my sole focus is on the plan and the execution of that plan.
Well, maybe, Joe Thomas, people just don't understand your agenda, what you'd bring to the equation. For instance, when Diddy put out his video on Instagram, he talked about how he was going to have the best halftime shows, which is a very difficult thing for you to compete with, correct?
Well, if people want to see Diddy at halftime, I can clearly just pay him enough money and he'll perform at halftime. So that really should not be any reason that people would prefer Diddy over me.
All right, so then let's get to your agenda. As you tweeted out, Joe Thomas, you said that you would, if you get the Panthers, not have a punter or a kicker because you're going for it on 4th down every time. Let's take that part first. Why are you such a 4th down junkie, Joe?
Well, I realize that the NFL is an entertainment business, and nobody hates the kicking and punting plays more than an offensive lineman. So I think we need to give the fans what they want. We need to go for it. We need to be risk takers. And I think when you waste roster spots on kickers and punters, those are roster spots that could be taken by more left tackles. So I don't see why you'd want to waste it on kickers and punters. You need to save that money for your left tackle. You need to save those roster spots for those up-and-coming left tackles.
You saw McAfee's response, right? Because when you talk that way about kickers, you're going to hear it from Pat McAfee, Joe Thomas. You're going to hear it.
Him and his army have been trolling me incessantly on Twitter since I put that out there. So I'm working on a way to smooth things over. Maybe I give him a front office role to kind of quiet him down there.
Maybe he could be your vice owner, your VP, right?
Yes. Everybody needs a good man behind the scenes working hard. Maybe Pat could be that guy.
Well, he could take care of your halftime show. That's for damn sure. He could do his podcast. He's the entertainer, right?
I was going to say, he's the entertainer. We could just put him out there with a microphone and have him tell jokes for 10 minutes during halftime.
But I got to tell you, Joe, I mean, certainly in these parts, as you know, I'm a punters are people too movement guy. I've been at the forefront of this. I have an issue here. I mean, punters are weapons, Joe. Punters are weapons.
Maybe we need to talk about that a little bit further. I'm not sure I totally agree with you, but they're certainly people, but I'm not sure they're football players.
Oh, Joe Thomas. Well, come on. Why? Because they watch soap operas during practice? Is that what you're saying?
I've always been jealous of the punter since I was in college, and we were outside sweating it out to the oldies at practice. And those punters were inside in the air conditioning watching daytime soaps while we practiced. So there's obviously a little jealousy going on that's been deep inside of me for a lot of years.
Okay. And then another part of your pitch, if you will, to buy the Carolina Panthers, Joe Thomas, is you want to rename the team to the Carolina Mission Barbecues. What's that all about, Joe?
Well, as everybody knows, Mission Barbecue is the best barbecue restaurant in the world. And I think it only makes sense that with new ownership, the Panthers need to take a new direction. And we need to rename the team, and we need to come up with a new logo so fans understand this is a new, exciting Carolina football franchise.
So, what would the logo be? What would the logo
Well,
be?
if you go to my Twitter page at
Yes.
JoeThomas73, you can see the beautiful logo that I've pre-selected for the fans, so they get just a little taste of the excitement and the entertainment around the Carolina Mission barbecues.
Well, it looks like your face, Joe. But I don't know. What would you call the
conspiracy theorists?
what would you call that look of the selfie that you put up there for the team logo?
Yeah, that's sort of my own version of blue steel.
I don't know. It looks like you're pulling something. I'll be honest.
Maybe my tricep. I may have re-injured it during that photo.
Was that the look that you had?
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on Audience.